The sigh of relief in oil country following Chris Knobloch's update on Connor McDavid was immediately followed by a dose of harsh reality. Yes, number 97 is good to go for Game 3 in Anaheim, but the absence of Adam Henrique for this entire road trip creates a significant structural problem in the Oilers' forward group. A problem that could be catastrophically compounded if Jason Dickinson remains a game-time decision. This isn't just about losing one player, it's about the domino effect on the entire lineup architecture as Edmonton tries to wrestle back control of this series on the road. Let's break down the immediate tactical impact of losing Henrique. We're not just losing a 21-goal, 51-point player from the regular season. We're losing the exact veteran archetype Ken Holland acquired at the deadline to solve a specific problem, stabilizing the middle six. Henrique's value isn't just on the score sheet, it's in his positional intelligence, his 54.2% face-off win rate during the regular season, and his ability to seamlessly transition between center and wing. He provides Knobloch with immense lineup flexibility. Without him, the third line is immediately destabilized. The most logical move is to shift Ryan McLeod back to the 3C position, a role he has occupied for much of the season. While McLeod possesses elite speed, his inconsistency at the face-off dot, hovering just below 48%, puts immediate pressure on his wingers and the defense to regain possession. More importantly, it forces a player like Warren Foegele, or potentially even Dylan Holloway, into a more prominent role with less of a veteran safety net on their line. Henrique's presence allowed McLeod to play a more sheltered, offensively driven game. Now, that line will be expected to handle tougher defensive zone starts without its most reliable two-way presence. This is where the salary cap and asset management context becomes crucial. Henrique was acquired, with salary retained by both Anaheim and Tampa Bay, for this exact moment. His effective cap hit for the Oilers is a mere $2,156 million. But his on-ice value in a playoff series is that of a $5 million player. He is a pending UFA, a rental in the truest sense, brought in to win now. Losing him for even 2 critical road games negates a significant portion of the very investment made at the trade deadline. The situation becomes exponentially more precarious if Jason Dickinson can't go. Dickinson, another pending UFA, was a revelation for the Blackhawks this season, and while he hasn't been with the Oilers long, his defensive acumen and tenacity are precisely what you need in a fourth-line center. If he's out, Knobloch is suddenly missing 2 of his most dependable middle and bottom 6 centers. The ripple effect is massive. Does Derek Ryan, a reliable veteran but someone who has been in and out of the lineup, now center the fourth line? Or do you consider a more drastic move, like dressing Sam Gaynor and using him in a sheltered role? This is also where the Bakersfield Condors pipeline comes into focus. The next man up in this scenario would likely be Lane Peterson or Raphael Lavoie. Lavoie offers size and a shoot-first mentality, but inserting a player with limited NHL playoff experience into a hostile road environment in Game 3 is a high-risk proposition. Peterson has more NHL experience and is more of a natural center, but he doesn't bring the same defensive responsibility as Henrique or Dickinson. There is no clean one-for-one replacement in the system. The Oilers' organizational depth, particularly at center, is being tested at the worst possible time. Now let's address the McDavid situation. The official word is that he's fine after that awkward-looking ankle roll, and we have to take the team at their word. However, the eye test and some underlying numbers from the first 2 games suggest he hasn't been the supernova we're accustomed to. It's not about his point totals, it's about his process. In the regular season, McDavid's controlled zone entries at 5-on-5 were happening at a historic rate. In this series, Anaheim has done a commendable job of clogging the neutral zone, forcing more dump-ins and contested entries. His individual high-danger scoring chances per 60 minutes, while still elite, have seen a slight dip compared to his season average. Is this due to a nagging ailment, or is it simply elite playoff checking from the Ducks? The team insists it's the latter. But for a player who drives play unlike anyone else on the planet, even a 5% reduction in his explosive capabilities changes the entire dynamic of the Oilers' offense. It puts more pressure on Leon Draisaitl's line to be the primary offensive driver, and on the power play, coached by Glenn Gulutzan, to be ruthlessly efficient. The pressure to perform in the playoffs can be immense, and it brings to mind the situation currently unfolding in Montreal. The online vitriol directed at Kirby Dach after a mistake in overtime is a stark reminder of how quickly narratives can turn. Fans calling for him to be benched is a classic knee-jerk reaction. What's more telling is his teammates publicly defending him. That's the sign of a healthy locker room. In Edmonton, the leadership group of McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, and Hyman has fostered a similar environment, insulating younger players from the external noise. It's a crucial, often overlooked element of playoff success. The Oilers will need that internal fortitude now more than ever as they deal with their own lineup adversity. It also provides perspective on the league at large. You see reports from Toronto, with Jonas Siegel of The Athletic suggesting the Maple Leafs should go big game hunting for a new president or GM, even if it means poaching from a rival. It speaks to a level of organizational desperation. While Oilers fans have had their frustrations with Ken Holland's tenure, the franchise currently has a clear chain of command with Jeff Jackson and a defined strategy. That stability is an asset, especially when compared to the potential chaos of a complete front office teardown in a market like Toronto. So, what is the path forward for Game 3? It's a test of Chris Knoblauch's coaching and the team's depth. The onus now falls squarely on the supporting cast. Players like Ryan McLeod and Warren Foegele must elevate their game from being complementary pieces to being line drivers for their shifts. The defensive pairings, marshaled by Paul Coffey, have to be flawless in their breakouts to ease the pressure on the makeshift center depth. Puck management will be the absolute key. The Oilers cannot afford to feed the Ducks' transition game with careless turnovers at the blue lines. This is a moment where a player like Evander Kane or Corey Perry, veterans with a history of playoff heroics, needs to make their presence felt not just physically, but by capitalizing on a key chance. The top six, specifically the Draisaitl line, will likely see heavy minutes and will be counted on to carry the offensive load. Stuart Skinner, in goal, needs to be their best penalty killer and erase any mistakes born from the lineup shuffle. Winning on the road in the playoffs is about resilience, and the Oilers are facing their first true test of it in this series. They have the top-end talent to overcome it, but their depth is about to be pushed to its absolute limit. If you're tracking the salary cap implications of every call-up and analyzing the zone entry metrics for every line combination right alongside us, then you're in the right place. This is where we go beyond the box score. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our post-game breakdown of Game 3. Let us know in the comments how you think Knoblauch should construct the lines without Henrique.